Hi, it's Lynn Gerard with the Cork Emporium. Hey, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this really cute little, it's called the envelope wallet, Anna envelope wallet from OklaRoots.com. So it's OKLAROOTS.com. You can go on her site. She has a free download to print off so that you'll have your templates to make this cute wallet. I'll show you one that I've already got done, and we're working on another one. This one I did with watermelon and rind. So you've got a card pocket in the back with a clear vinyl with a little hole in it to make it easier to get your license in and out. It's got a little corset D-ring on it as well, and it snaps shut in the front. These are ideal. Make a few of them, keep some in your purse. If you got a good waitress one day, just give her one. Help her make her day. Be a cork crusader. Go out and pass cork out. Okay, so now I'm going to show you real quick. I ordered the template because I make a lot of these. So you get the back, then you get the front, the pocket area. And you can do a front pocket, and then you could also use this on the back if you didn't want to do a clear vinyl window. Then you have another little piece that'll show you, or it's an accent piece, so you can put that on there. This is the black. That accent piece was the black. And I like to put the accent piece on because that gives that snap a little more stability. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm going to move the camera over so that you can see my machine. And so hang on, I'm going to stop you and get started again over at the machine. Okay, so let's go over the parts. So this is the main piece. It's going to be flowered. It'll come and it'll go down like that. This is, I did this out of a red accent. This is that front pocket. This is the accent piece that'll go on that front pocket. And then this is the back piece. And I've got a clear vinyl in here with a little hole. That's going to be on the back to put your license or card, whatever you want in there. All right, so we're going to start off. I went ahead and I glued my vinyl all the way around there. I glued it. And I do that first so that I can put a weight on it and then set it aside and let it dry. I put a piece of double stick tape at the top because we're going to pull that, we're going to fold that over, and then we're going to sew across the top. And that's going to be where you stick your license in and out right there. So let's do that now. Hopefully my tape is going to cooperate. Oops. Okay, so I've just pulled that tape up, and then I'm going to just fold that over. And it's going to go right on top of the edge of my vinyl, and that's okay. Helps it stick better. So then I'm just going to go through and I'm going to do an 1/8 of an inch seam right here on that. I am going to go ahead and back tack a couple times here. I'm sewing on my Sailrite machine. I love this machine. You can't beat it. All right. We've got our top stitch in there. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to top stitch all around this window. So I'm going to just go right on the edge of the cork and top stitch all the way around that window. You can tie it off on the back. You can back stitch a little bit. You can come around and run over it again and lock your stitches that way. You do you. Whatever you like best, you do you. So when I get to that corner, I'm just going to bury the needle and then I'll make my turn. One more stitch, all right. I like to go ahead and go over it one more time a little bit. That locks it. And if you sew like a drunken sailor, like I do sometimes, use a coordinating top stitch thread. I'm not too worried about it, but if you are, go ahead and use something like here. I should have used red instead of this beige, but I don't care. Okay, now for our next part. This is our pocket. Well, we want to put our accent on that. We're going to end up putting it right here in the center. And what we'll do, because I want to give this a little more stability, so I'm going to sew top stitch right across here, across there, and across that. That'll give our pocket a little more. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to top stitch across here and across here to anchor our accent in. And I went ahead and just put a couple pieces of double stick tape there. And see if I can't lift that up. Go. That'll just kind of help hold it in place a little bit. You don't have to. You could probably just use your clips and get it right where you want it, but I think this just helps a little bit. Gets everything lined up where we want it. Okay, so again, I'm going to just sew right down here, across, and up again, just to give that a little more stability. And I will go ahead and stop and start, or back tack a little. I'm going to get there, make a pivot, go across, pivot, make my turn. Come back, I'll back stitch just to kind of keep it in there. Okay. Trim our threads. Okay, now we want to stitch down this side and this side to help anchor our accent in. I did a back tack there, so I'm just going to trim this thread right down. Now I'll go ahead and get the other side. Like I say, you do you. If you don't like back tacking and you'd rather pull the thread through and tie it in the back, knock your lights out there. You can do whatever you want to do. We won't sew across the bottom because we'll do that in our final step when we're putting the whole thing together. So now I'm going to look back here. I've got just a little bit of overhang and I'm going to trim that off a little bit. Okay, we'll trim our threads. I'm going to go ahead and take my lighter and I'm going to singe the edge of my cork, get rid of all the little frays. Cork doesn't ravel, but your cotton poly behind it does. I use nylon thread, so I can just go ahead and hit my nylon threads and get rid of those, any hanger overs. There we go. Okay, we've got this dude. I'm going to go ahead and singe around him because I don't think I did yet. And we're almost ready to put it together here. Cork will not burn. You could have that lighter up to it. It won't catch fire. What it'll do though, it will singe. It'll turn black and singe. So you don't want to hold it up too long, but you can get rid of all the little fuzzies on the edges. Then when we're all done with our project, we'll go in and we'll put Mod Podge on the edges of it, and that will seal this so we don't have any more fringes coming after that. Okay, so now let's get rid of our threads here. These are going to be make it, take it projects. When I go to Rochester, New York, I'll have extra booth space, and I'm going to put make it, take it stations. I'm going to take 4 machines along, and people can come to the booth and do make it, take it, and this will be one of them. Always got to be a little stickler in the bunch. I don't know why I have so much trouble with double-sided tape, but I do. That's all right. Where else are you going to practice cussing if you don't have something? Okay, there we go. All right, so now I want to put this right down here. I'm going to put it right down here on the edge. I'm lining up the edges, each side and then the bottom. And if I need to go back in and trim a little here and there, that's not a big deal. I can do that. Okay. Then this guy, I'm going to put a little tape on the back of him and do the same thing. It'll help hold it where we want it. I don't have to put it across the bottom because I think if I just do the edges, that'll keep it in place. I usually use a pokey thing here to get the paper started. The paper, or is that everything? It's like everything. There we go. Pulls the paper up. I kind of like putting it on that plastic because the adhesive really sticks to the plastic instead of coming up. Okay, so now we're putting that. We're making sure that our top part with the double stitch, or with the stitching, is up there. That's where we're going to slide the card in and out. So we've got the back of our little envelope wallet. So we're just going to line up the bottom and the sides on that. Press it down. Now you can use a clip here too to kind of keep everything in place where we want it. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to start here, so all the way up, across, over, down, and across the bottom. And if our edges aren't perfect, we don't care because we're going to come and trim it up and make it look nice. I will go ahead and back tack a little. All right. I'm doing about 1/8 of an inch. Now, I'm going to go ahead and back tack where that pocket is because that's going to get extra stress when you're putting stuff in and out of that pocket. So then I'm just going to come up here. One more stitch, bury the needle, then come across. Looks like I need 2 stitches there, then bury it and turn it, and then come back down. Just bury your needle and lift your foot and make the pivot. Again, I'm going to re-stick that, get it over a little bit on the edge. There we go. And if you need to use your stylus to hold something down as you're going, get it and do it. Okay, so when I come up here, I'm going to go ahead and back tack over that edge because that's the other side of that pocket. Okay, I get to the bottom, bury my needle, I think I want to go 1 more stitch. Okay, now bury my needle, then make my turn. back tack at the end. Okay, so our little wallet is complete as far as the sewing goes. Now we got to go through and we're going to want to put our snaps and we're going to put our little corset D-ring on here to make this thing how we want it. See how cool this is with your pocket back here? You can stick your license in there, whatever you want in there. More credit cards, whatever, you do you. All right, so our template is going to have holes in it, and that's going to show you where to put your snaps and stuff. So I'm going to put this back on here, and then I'm just going to go in with a pin, mark the hole there where it needs to be punched, and then this other template, the big template, has the hole up here. Same thing. So I'm going to lay that over there. Then I'll mark that with a pin so I know where to punch my holes to put in my, I'm going to use size 14 snaps. First I'll just go ahead and punch my hole. I like to do the sewing before you put the snaps in because that way you're not worried about sewing around a snap. And you've got enough room to get your all your stuff in there to punch the holes and to put your snaps in. We're going to put the female in first. I put all my stuff here in a little bag so I have it. Okay, my female snap. I've got this portion that's got the pretty head on it. That'll go back here. That goes on that side. And then the female portion goes right into that. That's how that works. Then I've got my cam snap here with my dies. I buy all my dies and everything from cam snaps that I need to use for snaps. Okay, I've got the female done, so I need to take that out and put the male in. So this one, the top always screws in and out, and the bottom just drops in and out. I mark them with paint so that I know what size they are and if it's the male or the female. Because if you get it all together, you're like, oh, which one's which? Okay, so now I'm going to put the male portion in. That one drops in. This one screws in. Oops. Get the right one, so that always helps. Yep, that one screws in. You don't have to do it real tight, just firm them up. Get them up there where they're stuck. Okay, so now with the male, you have two pieces to that. You have one that's got a stem on it, and then one that I think looks like a hat. So I call it the stem and the hat. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put the stem in there. I'm going to go ahead and get that die. The dies, you can see the die has a little pokey thing that sticks up, a little stem that fits right inside that. So you'll feel it when you hit it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the hat. You can't really see it well. You just have to trust me. Put the hat on top of that stem, and then you just smash it together with your press, and it's on there. So now test it, make sure it's right, everything works. There we go, I heard it snap, so there we go. All right, now this one, I want it to be a little wristlet, and so that somebody could carry this with them when they're, you know, going out and about or whatever they're doing. So I want to put a little corset D-ring that I get, and I'm going to put that right here. So I'll put that on there, and then I'm going to mark where I want it to go, or where I want the rivet. Okay, so I marked where I want to punch the hole for the rivet. I'll go ahead and punch that. Okay, now put that on there, and I'm going to put the stem part of the rivet on the back. push that through, and then I'll put, it's a double cap rivet system, so I'll put that on top of there. I gotta change my dies to put in the rivet dies. Not gonna do me any good to have the other kind. That one, and that one. That one screws in. And that one drops in. Okay, so then all I gotta do is line up my rivets in the die, press it shut like that. This one always likes to really get in there, so I pull that off like that. There we go. And it'll move a little bit, so I can adjust it however I want. I'm gonna make it stand up. There we go. So now, this will snap. Make a liar out of me. There we go. It'll snap. And now I can also make a little wristlet. I made a wristlet to go with it. And I can hook that right onto that. So I have a wristlet, and then I also have a little key ring. So I can stick my keys on there. I can carry my keys, whatever I want. I can take this in the grocery store and leave the mothership, also known as your purse, in the car. So I hope you like this. I